Did you see Asmongold's insane tweet today? Bro, I thought he was joking, dude. I thought I saw someone else post a screenshot of the tweet and I was like, there's no way this is real. Brother, I'm sorry. This is the worst thing I've ever seen anybody tweet. Like, there's no way this person seriously tweeted this. There is no way this person... No, I'm telling you right now, dude, there are a lot of people who definitely in Asmongold's fan base that are like, this is a great tweet. He tweeted like a bot. He tweeted like a blue checkmark chat GPT machine. Like, this is literally trying to farm as much of that delicious algorithm as possible. Like, it blows my mind. First of all, everybody always talking about hoflation, but it's actually the opposite. First, I've never seen Asmongold say, everybody always talking about hoflation, but it's actually the opposite. Asmongold trying to be a Def Jam comic in 2025. Like, what? He said it on stream? What? Everybody always talking about hoflation. Know what I'm saying? It's like Steven Crowder trying to do a black scent. Yeah, steak logo ass tweet. Yeah. This type of tweet is relegated to a 16-year-old white boy who is not allowed to say the M-word, but he has like a black person as the PFP on the account. You know what I mean? That's like, what do you mean hoflation? Who is everybody talking about hoflation? Replace everybody. If everybody around you is using the word hoflation, you should be around nobody. Okay? That's number one. I used to be able to go to GameStop or Target and see hot working there every hot every day at GameStop. No. I'm sorry. I do not believe this is a no. Fear buck ass tweet. Nah, I'm done, dude. We got Asmongold saying words like hoflation and hot before Grand Theft Auto 6. Now it's just hogs. Why? Because those girls are at home doing OnlyFans now instead of working. First of all, what a silly argument. Yeah, I know. First of all, girls should be working minimum wage jobs at GameStop instead of making so much more money from the comfort of their own homes. Is like, yeah, no. Okay, if that was the case, it makes total sense. I don't believe this is the case, but what is this tweet? Dude, what is this tweet, dude? This is like Ninja's Brawl's wife. Someone in the chat said this is giving Ninja's Brawl's wife tweet energy, but like that one is like kind of Mormon coded. Like, that's like funny, but also ultimately harmless. This is like Asmongold trying to tweet like he's Andrew Tate. And it's funny because like Andrew Tate at least has all of the other fixins, you know what I mean, that present him as this beacon of masculinity and you know, he's like a sexual guy. At least he presents himself as such, even though I think he's a deeply insecure man who is the zestiest of all time. But like like the words that he's using, like hoflation and hot. When you remember what Asmongold operates like, what he looks like, what he does on a day-to-day basis, you're like, why are those words coming out of your mouth? Like, that's a whole different type of right-wing content creator. Do you know what I mean? Which is why I think this is still some semblance of satire. Asmon or Andrew, when a girl's entire night is her Snapchat story, rest assured, her lifelong quest for attention had undoubtedly turned her into a... I don't think Asmongold said that. Hot don't want to work no more. All they want to do is eat hot chip and do OnlyFans. What happened to Western civilization, dude? This is like, is Asmongold turning PUA? Like, this is a Sneeko tweet. Like, this is not an Asmongold tweet. What is happening? I can't get over this tweet coming from the mouth of Asmongold. First of all, goes to GameStop? Like every part of this tweet is busted. Like, who's going to GameStop? You buy everything online, unfortunately. Like, physical copies are no longer in fashion. Like, the only time Asmongold goes outside is not to go to GameStop or Target. It's to go to Whataburger to get the same meal he gets every time with a side of Dr. Pepper. I know this because that's the only thing he does. There's no way. I don't think this is serious. I think this is a bait tweet. I can't get over this take, man. Peach has replied. I saw Peach. That's when I knew it was real. When I saw Peach Jars' reply. Asmon, the bills can't possibly be this high. Come on. Like, there is no way. There is just no. I can't. That's when I was like, all right, this gotta be. I can't believe this is real. I actually have no idea what hoflation is. Like, I've heard red pill guys say it in the manosphere, but I think it. No, I'm telling you, I don't know what the exact terminology is. Does it mean that there's just like more hoes out there? Or I don't know what it exactly means. I don't know if it means like there's more than before, or if like the existing hoes are inflated in value when they should be deflated. Because those two concepts actually contradict one another. Because if the marketplace of hoes, if the supply for hoes has gone up, whereas demand has stayed relatively the same, then obviously the value of the hoe would deflate. Whereas if the value of the hoe has inflated, that means that there is not more supply of hoes, but simply more demand of hoes, whereas supply has stayed relatively the same. This is why I don't fully understand the concept of hoflation. Maybe I'm too autistic to understand it, but like I kind of generally get it. It's just a way to shit on women, but I've never fully understood what it meant. Wait, Asmongold?
Newscaster addresses the rude dating down.
Seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, a man who...
So it looks like women are getting victimized again.
Math genius? Asmongold saw this guy, Ho Math, and he titled this video, Math Genius. Oh my God. Oh my God. This dude is not even the genius of scrapbooking. Okay. What do you mean, man? What do you mean, Math Genius? This has 1.5 million views, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no.
Women are having to date down because there are no good men left. Let's talk about why. So usually men make more than women, which is not fair. Let's not talk about why. We'll just assume.
Okay, that's a math genius. It takes a math genius to recognize. Okay.
Assume it's oppression. So to combat this oppression, we need the government to make laws so that women can make an equal amount of money, which is fair. And once women are making any...
I love how the name of this account is called Ho Math.
Equal amount of money. Now, men who make less than them are losers. Women are getting educated and they have standards.
I love how he puts educated in print in like quotes.
She needs a man who makes more money than her. So basically, women need to be making the same amount of money as men, or even more, because it's 2023. That's the year that it is.
No, it's 123.
This is the year, and so the government has to make this happen. So all women should be equal to or better than men, and all women should be able to find a man who makes more money than she does. Where have
those are not people. Oh, I get it.
Good men gone? I just don't get it. I want a man who makes 6 figures because that's more than me.
Right.
And that's not fair. And when I get my 6 figures, I want a man who's making 7 figures. Why can't I find any? And when I do find a man who makes 7 figures, that's oppressive. Government, help! I'm so sick of all this dating down. Why don't you just do better? Hey, you can't do better. Government, Why can't I raise my standards and make a lot of money and then find a guy who makes more money who doesn't have a lot of women? I just don't get it. It's the mystery of our time. Guys, it's really simple. You gotta get out there and climb that ladder. And when you do climb that ladder, then you're an evil bastard and you need to be forced to share.
Yeah.
And when you do share, then you're a loser. Better climb that ladder, buddy.
Yeah, I how weird. Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, how's this possibly happen? That's really a mystery. He's got a point. I don't know. I've always been a traditional marriage enjoyer. You solve this problem by you get a good job, your wife doesn't work, she stays home, takes care of the kids, raises the kids, improves the kids' life, and you
Bro, Asmongold. Brother, you date OnlyFans models. There's nothing wrong with that. I have as well. And you look like your Amazon cart is only futa pillows. Like, what do you mean? I'm a traditional marriage enjoyer. What the hell? Bro, we're Twitch streamers, man. What are you talking about? What the fuck is going on here? Not only are we both Twitch streamers, we're both watching this guy named Homath scrapbook instead of doing a school shooting, which I think is good. I'm glad that he's at least scrapbooking about how much women ain't instead of, you know, drawing the blueprints of his school that he goes to. What the Oh, Jesus Christ. Also, what was the point? How did this got 1.5 million views?
make all the money. Problem solved. Yep, that's all you do. And then you don't have to worry about the chart. You don't look at any of this bullshit. It's not an issue. As strongly.
Actually, he's married with kids. After streams, he goes to mine in secret. He's just a nasty insult for the views. Yeah, he's married to you. You've been married to Asmongold. And you carried his children. I don't know, man. I also don't understand. Like, I don't even think like Asmongold made that bad of a point. Like, if to each their own, you know, if people want different strokes for different folks, if you want to have like a normal traditional relationship, like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Traditional job for a traditional man. Is that a Blackberry? What is going on, man? Hoflation, a disaster for human civilization, from Black Pigeon Speaks. Okay, this seems like a smart guy. I'm gonna learn a lot from this video, I think.
I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either. You're gonna try to get me drunk and take me back home. No. We are doing dinner. You're gonna pick me up. We're gonna come to the restaurant. We're gonna see your table manners. We're gonna see what you order. We're gonna see, do you hold your chopsticks correctly? We're just gonna, you know, study you a bit. Okay?
So what's the argument here that she's like annoying? I mean, because she is. Like, is that hoflation that like women have become more annoying or something? Like, there are annoying women out there, just like there are plenty of fucking annoying men. Bro is a hoconomist now. No, I am. I'm learning about the. I've learned about the supply. I'm learning about the supply chain of.
So dinner it is.
Thousands of tears later.
I started the egg freezing process. I did some preliminary tests.
I wanted to podcast with this woman. Her entire life perspective was never settling. Her entire brand is being bougie best friend. She has nearly 300,000 followers across multiple platforms. I will reserve my thoughts on this for the time being because I have to word it carefully, or people will think I'm attacking her personality, not her philosophy. So you will all have to wait on that commentary. If you are a single and childless woman, do not watch her content if you want marriage and children. Oh my God. I hate every single person that is involved in this. I genuinely hate every single person that's involved in the story, from the guy, Black Pigeon Speaks, which I assume is going to do. I mean, anyone who writes an entire dissertation on this is truly needs to be institutionalized. I hate the original woman because she's like the classic annoying influencer, who is basically doing, and this isn't the same because there's no structural violence associated with her like behavior, But what she's doing is basically like Andrew Tate style commentary, but for women, not to the same degree. And I'm not saying that there's any moral equivalency there. And I'm certainly not saying that she's done any of the crimes that Andrew Tate has done. I'm simply stating that like the overarching void that Andrew Tate fills is bravado and like, you know, these depictions of hyper masculinity, oftentimes by basically presenting himself as this like dominator of women. And this is like the shitty attempt at doing the same thing from the opposing side. Of course, it's not a moral equivalence. There is, I'm going to repeat that again before the Radfems throat online. She basically isn't doing anything wrong other than being annoying. Okay. Andrew Tate does a lot wrong besides being annoying. But anyway, but I also don't like this other person too, because it seems like she's basically placing a lot of emphasis on, if you're a single and childless woman, do not watch our content if you want marriage and children. Like, what do you mean? Why are you learning about marriage and content and how to get these things from watching online influencers? Why do human beings not know how to human being anymore? What is happening? Like, do you not have a single human being in your immediate vicinity that you can rely on? Their experiences, the experiences of, look, classic. She's annoying. He's a human trafficker. I literally just said there is no moral equivalence nor any real equivalence in terms of all of the things that Andrew Tate has done versus what she's done. I'm simply saying that aesthetically they are filling individual voids. Ultimately, I'm not making that comparison. I'm simply stating that there's no equivalence there, but they're filling similar voids for their target audiences. This is the equivalent to men saying they want to take women to the pool in the first two. Yeah, exactly. Okay, never mind. You actually made a really good point here. This is the equivalent of like a PUA podcast. They're saying they want to take women to the pool on the first date. Exactly. Never mind. I popped off. I have a little bit of a hair trigger because I've been getting yelled at by Radfems a lot. You are redeemed, and I apologize profusely to you, chatter. I thought you were purposely misunderstanding my point that I was making. All right, let's continue.
It showed that my account is really low.
Like this also, like dunking on women for being like, oh yeah, I'm freezing my eggs because like my egg count is really low. It's like, oh, you deserved it. Like what a psychotic thing to do to another human being. Like, yeah, her vibes are bad. Okay. Her vibes are bad. She's annoying. She presents herself as like a classic, like out of touch Instagram influencer. That's like, I'm the and you know, I have these expectations of myself and I have these expectations from others. And then it's like, haha, guess what? You deserved it. Like you're going to die alone. You're not going to have children anymore. Is a ridiculous thing to say to a human being. Okay. On target killed, friendly fire. Okay. That's funny.
And I know a lot of women struggle with this. I had a
like freezing eggs is already a traumatic process. Okay. For people that don't know, you have to shoot yourself up with a cocktail of drugs for like a week-long process in order to have your eggs extracted and shit. You know what I mean? It's not like if your goal overall is to repopulate the earth or whatever, there you go. She's doing that. She's doing that ultimate thing. I don't know why people would dunk on her for this. It's not even a week-long process. It's a month-long process, I think, overall.
ovarian surgery last January, and I knew that I have endometriosis and I had like a giant cyst on my ovary, and the doctors told me that.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like it's an age-specific issue either. Like it just seems like she has a health complication on top of that.
The doctors did tell me that might affect my fertility, but we didn't even start like the actual egg freezing, so it's still my.
God forbid a woman be annoying, dude, and then God forbid a woman be annoying. And there are people out there. There are men. They're male content creators who are just annoying. They're not like genuine monsters. right? They're just annoying. And people also are vicious to them as well. There are also male content creators who are not just annoying, but genuinely advocating to make the world a worse place overall. And when those guys get their comeuppance in a similar situation, of course, people dunk on them. Okay, the maximalist position here is the Nick Fuentes situation. Okay, Nick Fuentes is the neo-Nazi equivalent of Icarus. Okay, he flew way too close to the sun, way too close. Okay, those wings started catching fire. Mere hours after people realized that Donald Trump was about to become the next president of the United States of America. Okay, he flew way too close to the sun. All right, and then there are lower level offenses. If you go all the way down, I'm sure you know a male content creator who's like kind of annoying. You don't really understand it. You don't really know what it is. But if they're also going through something tumultuous or being open about their issues, like people do engage in this like lynching and dunking campaigns and dunking initiatives, but I think sometimes it's just not warranted. Anyway, let's continue.
Might be that my eggs are high quality, but there's just not a lot of them. It's just so sad. I've been like crying the entire day. And you know, people say like, oh, you're not alone, this happens to so many women, but I mean, it feels very. They're saying that she deserves it because her whole platform is saying to have high/specific standards, and because of that she deserves to be single and have this freezing her eggs problem. No one deserves to go through this though. Yeah, no, I know, I understand what the through line is. I understand what their argument is. I know that that's what they're saying. They're dunking on her because they're like, you deserve this lol, which is sad because I don't think anyone deserves the health complications like this. You know what I mean? It's just like she didn't bring this about herself with her vibes, is my point. Alone, lonely. I don't know. Like I just feel this giant pain in my stomach right now. How's your day going?
What up, Eric Hova-Geem?
How could this possibly ever have happened to me? Lamented Cornelia Slunjiski, who is a Croatian influencer of younger girls, and her message stress.
Why do these guys spit so much? Like, why can I hear their mouth spittle noises while they're talking? Don't they have better microphones? What the hell is going on here? Goddamn annoying. I shouldn't be able to smell your halitosis through the internet, okay? Bridge troll sounding ass mother.
This is the mantra of never settling for less, as she is the best friend to her 300,000 followers across platforms. And I should stress, and at least it's good to know, that the pain in her stomach was not morning sickness. But how does the influence and attitudes of the woman, that being Cornelia, how do those attitudes expressing the mantra of live, laugh, and love create societies such as those we're now experiencing?
Watch as you see a woman.
A fatal pedestrian collision involving a sea train in northeast Calgary led to chaos. A crowd chased the shuttle bus in an attempt to board it. A young man told a reporter on the scene, reminded him of his homeland in Punjab. What? I can't watch this video, man. I'm sorry. Nope. Give me a different Hoflation video. I can't do that. This is too much. No. You couldn't find a different Hoflation video? That's how we got the Hoflation. You guys sent me what this is. You guys sent me this freaks video. Hoflation alternate explanation from Candace Owens.
What is being dubbed Hoflation. A friend of mine, Paul Joseph Watson, has a YouTube channel. Ew. And he spoke about this concept of Hoflation, ho plus inflation, where when your grandparents, or rather your grandfather, was growing up, he had to do less work to find him a high quality woman, a woman that wanted to stay in the home, a woman that dressed conservatively, a woman that wanted to raise.
Urban Dictionary says Hoflation's concept of men having to work 20x harder than their grandparents did for women, 20x worse. than what their grandmothers were. Man one, why don't you get a girlfriend? Man, because hoflation is insane at the moment. So yeah, just repackage misogyny. Oh, I guess so. The solution is market interference. Like they want market regulation, and that is of course arranged marriages, I assume, right? That's what it is. Like women ain't shit. They should know their place. Why are you getting a job? You should be in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant. State mandated girlfriend type. Dude, it's 2025. The male loneliness epidemic is real. We can't all be walking around as influencers with mad getting Twitch money and Tom. This shit is real to us. Slatty Maddie got silenced for an hour and came back stronger than before. Okay, begging for a secondary, begging for a dual strike in one day. He's not being serious, chatters. He's just aching, quaking for another one.
Raise the children, a woman who did not want to be out sleeping with tons of men or putting her naked body on the, of course, then non-existent internet, right? Wanting people to see her naked. Now he's saying men have to work harder to find those.
Okay, this doesn't make sense. If putting your naked body on the internet is bad and lower quality, then there's more lower quality product out there. I don't understand it. Which means, you know, you can just like not attempt to go after those people, I guess. Like what? I don't get it. Candace Owens be like, I don't understand why women put their bodies on the internet. They should become black white supremacists like me instead for right-wing billionaires. Why do women put their on the timeline? They could just be the worst the worst ultra-charged misogynistic anti-black racists out there instead, which is infinitely more acceptable and much better than putting a nipple on the timeline. Seethe harder. I am going to listen to the number one. Okay, why you got to bring up that Candace Owens defeated me in the marketplace of anti-Semitism? Why you got to bring that up?
Those same women. So they call this concept hoflation. And you are seeing it in this environment as you speak to these women and they talk about how the money that they get is a justification for this lifestyle. And they speak down about men.
Yeah, I'm number two. I'm number two anti-Semite. Yes, I know. She defeated me. She destroyed me. I will be working harder this year, okay? I will not just be working harder, but smarter to become the number one anti-Semite this year. Stop. By the way, if a Victorian era lord saw the way Candace Owens is dressed right now, they'd have an aneurysm. So much for dressing conservatively. Yeah, if a Victorian era lord saw Candace Owens, they would be shocked for many different reasons, not just the way she's dressed. You know, OnlyFans is next gen labor evolution of strippers, much more safer to earn money at home than in the club. Yeah, I love how these guys are like, men are so much stronger and mentally tougher than women, but are also so fragile that any criticism will instantly kill them. I just don't understand these like broad sweeping generalizations, you know, across the board in terms of like women are of lower quality. It feels like you associate the quality of women with the wrong thing, you know, like what makes a woman lower value is the question here. If it's the fact that they've had more dating and sexual experiences, if you consider that to be low quality, then yeah, I guess. But I don't think that that is lower quality. I think that's a ridiculous, like women being sexually inexperienced is not a better quality. I don't know. I find that weird. I think what matters is how your partner treats you. Are they a nice person? Are they an ambitious person? Do they treat other people in a kind way? These are the qualities I personally look for. And there are plenty of women. I don't think that has changed throughout time is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that there is like a societal, there is a genuine societal fissure there, or women are just like treating the service industry workers worse now across the board. It's just this stupid argument. We know what time you on, buddy. Yeah. Well, your mom is still very high quality to me. Snipe the chef. Started 38 minutes with hoflation and male loneliness with Caleb Huron. Oh, I love Caleb. Hilarious. 38 minutes.
yes, of course, that's kind of funny in theory.
Dude, Caleb is so funny. I would love to go on his podcast, like, actually.
But these are the same guys that'll be like, the universe has conspired against me to make sure that I'm lonely. It's like, or you're a loser.
Yeah, man. Look, sometimes, and you gotta have standards. I remember I was over a couple years ago. I was at this girl's crib. We were in her room, and some baby came.
What is this? Hoflation is perfectly in line with right-wing ideology and beliefs. No question meritocracy. You want a good, high-value woman, whatever that means. You work hard for it, right? Yeah, that's the problem. These dudes don't want to work hard for it, and they also don't think that it's their fault at all. And what's really funny about it is, like, one immediate way to solve that equation is just not believe things like hoflation and not behave in that way. Because if you do behave in that way, you are going to be repulsive to a ginormous percentage of women. And maybe it'll be a self-selecting group of people who are unfortunately too dumb to recognize that you're a horrible piece. So that's the problem. These guys, and this isn't to say like all women are beautiful and pretty angels and also special and never wrong. There are a lot of dumb broads out there. And these guys are constantly finding themselves in this like self-selected cycle of dumb broads. And then they turn around and go, why are all the broads so dumb? It's because you're awful, and the only people that will put up with your shit have to be really stupid. So stupid that they have no like self-preservation skills, okay? Don't say that, Lamau. It's true. It's true. Come on, guys. I mean, Jesus Christ. What are we doing? Are we going to just act like all the ladies in this chat know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't ever go out there in the wild and on Instagram, you'll like sometimes happen upon a podcast video and you see a woman speaking on one of these podcasts and you go, like, this is setting back societal standards by a decade. Okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about. These guys literally live in that space. It's a self-selecting space. No woman worth her salt is going to be within 1,000,000 miles of these douchebags. So the only ones that go there are either personally willing to duke it out in that space because they're sharp. Some are, okay? Some are sharp and witty, and even then it becomes a silly thing to entertain because no matter what happens, the audience is not going to be receptive to you because they just hate you, okay? But there's also a lot of women who are invested in the cloud of it all or potentially going there because they just don't understand it. They have no capacity of reading the room, okay? That's it. That's it. So then these guys are always like, why are all the broads like this? It's like, dude, too much of a generalization there? I don't think so. Like, what? You're going to tell me that, like, you know, Pearl or whatever, Pearly Girl, whatever her name is an example of the overarching rule that, like, these all women are smart and across the board correct all the time. Anyway, my point is that these guys would probably be able to meet partners that are amazing, wonderful people, and would potentially even better themselves if they weren't such shallow misogynists. That's it. If they didn't see the world in such a one-note matter. Not all no, but not all are dumb. What are you talking about, man? I never said that. Yeah, you're right. We are in agreement because that's not my position and you misunderstood what I was saying. That's it. That's the number one factor that is putting you immediately. That's the number one factor that's like putting you immediately in a very different space, okay? The point they are saying is you being nice or hardworking is irrelevant, and according to that math guy, even having money is not enough. Yeah, because that guy's a loser. And the number one way to eliminate that problem that you have, the problem that you have is like you're not meeting any like women that want to date you, okay? And you're constantly looking for other like systematic factors. And those systematic factors that you arrive at are feminism and like, I don't know, woke education and schooling or whatever. And not the fact that you just don't know how to wash your after 38 years of being alive. Okay. And constantly watching dumbass YouTubers like Home Math who have literally never been around a woman. Okay. Like my personal life, I keep private, but back in the day it wasn't. So you know. At least you know that I have been around women, okay? These guys have no credibility. Even Andrew Tate, at the very least, like, you know, either kidnaps or at least pays women to be around him so we can take photos with them. Half of these unwashed incels online never even show their face, because if they did, you'd be like, oh my God, okay, I know why you're writing this manifesto about how women ain't shit. Anyway, that's the point. The point is every man and every woman, okay, has the capacity to better themselves. We have so much more potential than how we exist in this space, okay? An unlimited amount of potential. That's why I always say every guy is a 7, okay? Every man is a 7. And 7 is really good. But most people refuse to take matters in their own hands and consistently look for, and this I guess comes across as kind of right-wing when I say this, but everyone consistently is looking for systematic factors to point the finger of blame at. And there are some systematic factors that are genuine hurdles, okay? Poverty being one of the most important parts. But it's not feminism that is a systematic factor that is causing you not to get, okay? Throw to dump. I wasn't yelling at you, by the way. I was yelling at a point, like this point that people make. It's very frustrating. If you weren't rich, no woman would sleep with you, Hasan. What? Oh, that's funny. Hey, that was a good one, dude. Oh, man. That's true. Yeah, you're right. Well, good thing I am, I think. This is way funnier than when dumbasses will come in here and be like, you need to be a feminist to get like you're trying to behave like a feminist just so you can get. This is a way funnier version of that, I think. I don't need to do any of those things, big dog. Okay. Also, let's just say I was doing a lot better when I was broke. Anyway, did you not catch Meat Watch 2024 chatter? The women want the Haas hog. My whole thing is like, even if we went back to pre-feminism, do they think these women's fathers would look at you a loser and go, yeah, I'm just going to sling my daughter to this guy? Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that as well. Yes, that is the problem here. And that is also the reason why I always used to make fun of Nazis who think like, oh, once we have like a white only utopia, then the Pareto principle won't apply. It's like, no, dude, it's the top 20% of Aryan Chads that are still going to be slinging dick to the 80% of Helgas out there, okay? You're still stuck in the same equation, okay? Also, you're from Puerto Rico. Why are you a neo-Nazi? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, that's a very specific gripe I have. But that chatter is correct. It's like these guys think, oh, dude, if we drop this feminism, if we go back to the old ways, it's like all of a sudden I will have a better time locking someone into a perma relationship that they can't get out of. And guess what, dude? A lot of people misunderstand the dynamic of no-fault divorce. A lot of right-wingers get mad at no-fault divorce. No-fault divorce is there to save men, okay? And when I say save men, I mean like literally save their lives. Because back in the day, when there was no-fault divorce, you just mysteriously passed away, usually because of, Visine. But that's it. So perhaps it's better that you are a deadbeat divorced father who is still very much alive and not victim to a random mysterious death, okay? I don't get it. I'm saying back in the day, there was only so much physical and emotional abuse women would take. And if they had no other outlet, if they had no other options of escaping this treacherous relationship, they would just poison and kill you, okay? That's it. Another tell is that they chose your wealth over your looks. They still blame women for being gold diggers instead of you just being hot. If it were money, women would be swooned by Ben Shapiro. Yeah, that's true.
He was playing, and she's like, "What is this? This is terrible." And I left. She had her clothes off and everything.
Yeah.
Like you're not disrespecting Kendrick Lamar's nephew like that.
Yeah.
So I left. You gotta have morals and principles you stand on. Caleb.
Yeah, and that's your big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't disrespect Baby Keem around me.
Yeah, and I never would.
Thank you.
You know that about me.
Thank you.
I do. There is something going on in the culture. Like losers used to be embarrassed.
Well, there's no shame anymore.
Dude, this is also the reason why I love Caleb, because we have a very similar worldview. I've heard him talk about trans people and like their naming conventions. And I love that bit. It's very similar to a joke that I make all the time as well about like you had every opportunity to pick whatever name you wanted to, and you went with like Gertrude. He has a much funnier because he's actually a comic, and I am not a funny person, but his bit is way funnier than mine. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, nobody's scared to be a loser anymore.
Shame can get you paid.
Yeah.
You couldn't go viral for being a loser 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You were like on that one episode of American Idol where they show all the bad people.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
Do you see the girl who this is probably pretty dated by the time this episode comes out, but I'll say it anyway. Did you see the girl whose boyfriend asked her to move back to Texas with him?
Mm-mm.
You see that? You guys see that?
Where do they live currently?
Well, there was this girl. She made this whole like TikTok video that was like her like sobbing into the camera, and which I have quite feelings about that.
I hate when people cry on.
I do too. And you know what? I recorded a video the other day. I was trying to make a video for this abortion rights thing in Missouri.
Okay.
And I got worked up enough that I started crying, tears coming out of my eyes. And you know what? I said, this is really powerful. People would really like this. I'm not posting it. I'm not posting it. You know, so there are like 3 videos of me in my phone crying about abortion rights, and I said no posts. No posts.
We don't need that.
The static images will have to do.
That's almost as bad as what's her name, Gal Gadot singing.
Yes. It's manipulative too. I'm like, I don't want you to care about this because I got worked up and mad at Republicans and started tears.
You
coming
should
out.
already care about this. I'm just reminding you to go take action.
Go vote. Yeah. But she was posting. She was like, oh, my boyfriend. We lived in L.A. and he said he wanted to. Yeah, let's play it. I guess we have it.
Oh,
do we need headphones?
Where are they gonna start talking about hoflation?
Oh, we're playing.
I'm definitely so. I see thumbnails all the time, and whenever I see, I'm like, yeah, I'm not looking at this.
So you live in LA with your boyfriend, everything's...
There's a woman called Gia Tofana who lived in Sicily around 1630. A man could legally beat you back then. That's crazy. She sold poison called Aqua Tofana that was disguised as a beauty product. If your husband was abusive, a friend might tell you about the poison. It was kept secret between women. Aqua Tofana apparently killed over 600 people. Women will go to drastic measures to escape abuse. That's crazy. Gia Tofana. I mean, it's self-preservation. It's protecting yourself. It makes sense. My buddy complains about gold diggers and how women he's dated are gold diggers. At the same time, refuses to let women pay for anything. I told him if you want to vet them, go Dutch on a first date, split bills, or let them pay for stuff. Yeah, I have had this mentality for a very long time as well. It's something that I used to talk about, especially when I was broke, which is that like you can't be buying people's times. Okay, you can't be buying people's times. You can't do that. Because then you're setting the expectation that like, you're buying their time. You should go on a date with someone that wants to be there with you. That's why you can do like route tasks and normal stuff. The date doesn't have to be the traditional thing that, going out to a dinner, a fancy dinner where you're whining and dining this person. Because at the end of the day, a relationship, if that's what you're seeking, okay, is a partnership, is a friend. You're literally looking for a friend, someone that you want to spend time with. Respectfully disagree. To each their own. But my argument always is the same. It's the same for talking about or to marginalized people. And it's also the same when it comes to dating as well. Treat women as human beings. Treat women in the same way that you would anybody else. Okay? Treat a potential dating partner in the same way that you would. Obviously, not to the same degree. I'm not saying start ripping ass on the first date. Okay? That's not what I'm saying at all. They only sleep with the son because he's rich. Okay, why are you making fun of me like that? I didn't need to be called out like this. Okay? Hassan, would date you for your looks and your money. Okay, thanks, chatter. Money up. Down. Yeah, I got my money up and not my funny up. Okay, calm down.
It's going amazing. They're doing pottery. That's how you know.
Okay.
He says, babe, I want to move back to Texas.
Hassan, but if you consider all the bad easily get dinner, so to compete, you also have to pay for dinner. I don't even care. I love women. I have the money, so I be buying dinner, just saying. Okay, listen. That's why I said to each their own. Okay. Male loneliness talk is at 33.6. Oh, wait, is it? It's here?
New York, like, were you just fed up?
I was just fed up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I had all these like movies written and these pilots written, and it just like nothing was happening. I probably in 2020 and 2020.
Y'all give me like 8 different. I think the timestamp was right before this. Y'all give me like 8 different timestamps. I've watched that part already. They don't talk about the male loneliness epidemic at all. Stop doing home math. When is the last time you used mouthwash? Years of sleeping, but have you ever washed your bed sheets? Do you have a neck beard? We have a cure for that. It was called shaving. Hoflation is real, and no one will date me because the women stopped working at GameStop. Statements dreamed up by the utterly deranged. Look at what pickup artists have been demanding your respect for all this time with all the calculations and abacus we built for them. This is the real Hoflation done by real pickup artists. Question mark, 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 question mark. Hello, I would like, please. They have played us for absolute fools. This is a great meme, okay? If this is your cure, you will never reach salvation. Why do you think it's no one will date me instead of there's no one to date? Because of these guys. That's the problem. Also because we're entitled little babies, okay? The mindset of an American is so unimaginably entitled. This is the thing that I always laugh about whenever people are just like, no one wants to date me. It's like, no, you just don't want to swing in your weight class, okay? That's it. That's it. You don't want to swing in your weight class, and you don't even want to try. Most of the time, you're just scared. You're scared to even try, okay? You just want to DoorDash. It's annoying. You haven't even tried. You haven't even swung for the fences, let alone swung at all. Okay, you're too terrified of trying, and you're too terrified of getting turned down. And then also you just sit there, and it's like much easier to be like, oh, I'm not at fault. It's society that is broken.